Welcome to the Megacast, our live local daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Today we'll be talking to a number of people about topics of interest and importance to Michiganders just like you. Let's begin with what's making headlines on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page today. Our top story comes from Frank Witzel at the Detroit Free Press. Authorities were safely able to call an all clear on the campus of Oakland University on Monday morning following a lockdown due to two armed suspects evading police on campus that began earlier on that morning about 4 o'clock. Students were warned to remain indoors, and outsiders and commuters alike were urged not to approach the campus during the lockdown. In the end, no injuries and ultimately no danger, as an all clear was called mid-morning and classes resumed shortly after 12 noon. The incident began after a car chase that began in Grand Blanc after reports of a car stolen from a local dealership. Reports state that the alleged thieves had maybe exchanged fire with the authorities during this chase. The chase led to a crash on I-75 while in process, and then led all the way to the campus of OU, where suspects allegedly fled the vehicle and made a run through campus, presumed to be remaining armed while doing so, thus the lockdown being called about 4 a.m. and an emergency alert sent to Oakland University students. This was not the only active or proposed gun threat in Michigan on Monday. Ferndale High School and middle schools, which were both on the same campus, both closed on Monday following threats of gun violence that, according to WXYZ TV, that's Channel 7 in Detroit. They have since reopened today with increased police presence on campus. Of course, the situation at Oakland, very different from what happened on the East Coast at the campus of the University of Virginia in Charlottesville on Monday, where a former school football player opened fire, killing 3 active players on the team and injuring 2 other students on Sunday night. Our thoughts remain with the Charlottesville and the UVA community as they go through this horrific time and this horrific incident. Also making headlines today on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page from Crystal Nurse at the Lansing State Journal. Good news this time. Silver Bells in the City is back in the capital. For the 38th year, the Holiday Festival will kick off on Friday of this week at 5 p.m. in downtown Lansing, beginning with a retail market off Allegan Street and concluding for the evening with a drone light show and fireworks. If you're a local to the Lansing area and cannot attend for one reason or another, fear not, the festivities will be televised from 6 to 8 p.m. locally on Fox 47 and Cablecast on Comcast Channel 12 in the Lansing area. Check your local listings and on the Fox 47 website for times, dates where you can watch and potentially even watch online. For those who will be attending, parking will be available, but take a look at local traffic reports and try to get out there a little bit early, as many city roads will close for Silver Bells in the city at 3:45 p.m., including Capitol Avenue in both directions from Hillsdale to Ottawa Street. Same thing goes. Washington Avenue closed in both directions from Hillsdale Street. From Hillsdale to Ottawa Street. Hillsdale Street will close from Capitol to Washington Avenue. Same goes for Ottawa Street. The city's free parking Fridays will continue to remain active for the event and is also free, and parking will also be free after 4 p.m. at the Allegan Street and Library visitor lots. The Elliott Larson lot will also have free parking, same with the surface lots at Allegan, Ottawa, Butler, and Pine, as well as the Roosevelt ramp after 5 p.m. The rest of those free parking beginning at 4 p.m. as listed. And then, of course, there's the beautiful tree. A lovely 63-foot Christmas spruce will be lit just after the arrival of friends of the show here at the Megacast, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. You'll also hear some music from local American Idol contestant Jacob Moran, who will be performing at the event. Again, Friday night. More details can be found in this article. Click through to read this article from the Lansing State Journal on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page. Finally, making headlines today on our local news page from Mark Slagter at MLive. Schools across Jackson and Hillsdale counties are once again closed Monday as the Jackson County Intermediate School District works through the issue with local law enforcement, including the FBI, as well as independent contractors helping to them to recover their data. The attack has led to a series of system outages such as heating, telephones, classroom tech, and even more. Excuse me, just a moment. Superintendent Jeff Beal, that's better, from the Jackson County Intermediate School District, said in regards to the incident, quote, very serious cyber attack. The JCISD, or Jackson County Intermediate School District, is working diligently to restore our networks to safe operation. Unfortunately, this will not be in time for school tomorrow, Tuesday. Therefore, all JPS schools will be closed and all after-school activities are canceled. And closed quote. The Jackson School Board meeting at 5:45 p.m. today, it will continue as scheduled, that taking place in person at Jackson High School's Media Center. Find more info and updates on this developing story by clicking through this article from Mark Slagter on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page, as well as all of our headlines from today and throughout the week, along with up-to-date information linked to COVID-19 pages from the CDC, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and the Oakland County Health Division. We have a great show ahead on this Tuesday edition of the Megacast. Coming up next, we'll talk about partnership in the skilled trades with Paul Galbenski from the Oakland School's Technical Campus. Exciting programs ongoing, and you'll learn more about those when we return with the Megacast.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live local daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program by visiting our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find more information on all of our partnering stations across the state, including My Michigan TV, and find all of our full shows and each individual interview on demand, civiccentertv.com/megacast for all of that. Well, as we talk so much about our schools and about setting our kids up for the future, often that conversation goes to getting them ready for college. But some students, more than ever now, are looking to go into the skilled trades with great need in those industries for skilled and talented individuals to enter the workforce and join an industry that's paying well and has jobs available right now. And the great way to start in those industries is with apprenticeships. Here to talk about partnerships in our local schools in Oakland County with some of these apprenticeships opportunities is the Dean of the Oakland Schools Technical Campus Northeast. Paul Galbenski joins us now on the Megacast. Paul, thank you for being with us today. It appears you may be muted, Paul. So I'm not hearing you.
Tyler, is today, November 15th, is pre-apprenticeship and youth apprenticeship, as there are many themes that are being celebrated throughout this week. But today, Tuesday, the 15th, we're looking at the pre-apprenticeship program and youth apprenticeship. And that's exactly what is available to our students here at the Oakland Schools technical campuses here in Oakland County.
So tell us about, just in a blanket way, in a very general way, what are these programs that are available to kids that are in Oakland County schools under this Oakland Schools ISD that can then engage in these sort of programs and set themselves up for future apprenticeships with this pre-apprenticeship program?
Absolutely. So there's 4 technical campuses located in Oakland County, and they're designed to deliver regional career and technical education for students that are juniors and seniors. And it's part of our K-12 career readiness. And each of the campuses has a variety of programs. We have 17 different programs that students are able to explore as we look at that. And then particularly what we have with the pre-apprenticeship program is in our construction trades. Construction technology program, and that is a partnership with LIUNA, which is the Labor's International Union of North America. And students are able to begin earning hours toward a registered apprenticeship program with our pre-apprenticeship program once they're accepted. So it's a phenomenal win-win-win all the way around. It's a win for the students, it's a win for the workforce development, and obviously it's a win for our community partnerships that we have.
Certainly over the last several years, there's been a greater emphasis that's been put in the education system, especially locally in the Oakland County area, on encouraging kids to pursue careers in the skilled trades. If college is maybe not their thing, if the career path that they're looking at maybe doesn't require a college education, but would be better suited for skilled trades education instead. So where did these partnerships begin with Oakland schools and their technical campuses and these different companies and organizations that are establishing these pre-apprenticeship programs with you?
Yes, so it begins as the students come onto our campus and they start exploring it. We work with our students so they can explore, they can experience, and then definitely excel. And that's the part that happens as we move forward into our apprenticeship program. So our pre-apprenticeship program is designed for students that are in the construction area, that they are seeking and learning and exploring those various careers and pathways. And so a student is able to build the skills here. They go through an interview process. They then present their portfolio, their work that they've accomplished so far, and then they move into the summer program where they spend weeks in the classroom being paid and learning. And then they move into a partnership with one of our contractors where they then move out into the field, again, being paid. So definitely earn while you learn model. And then those hours are accumulated as they move forward if they choose to continue on into a registered apprenticeship program. So we have our business partners that work with our students, we have our teachers that work with our students, and we guide them along that way as they figure out just exactly what career pathway they're looking to pursue.
It's important to have these programs, and it's great to have these programs in place to give kids opportunities to look at potential career paths or career paths that they're already very passionate about. But how does that translate to the workforce on the other side, Paul? Because as you mentioned, some of these programs include in construction, skilled trades as well. So how do these programs then translate in terms of the demand in these industries that sets these kids up potentially to have a lot of opportunity after they go through these different programs, go through an apprenticeship and learn some of these skilled trades?
The key thing is the stackable credentials, Tyler. And then so our students will come in and they'll be in there, they'll earn their OSHA 10, which is the beginning safety requirement. Obviously, safety is number one in any profession when we're working, particularly in the skilled trades. We then have students that will move on and then potentially earn their OSHA 30, which is the gold standard, if you will, for someone that is in that area. And our pre-apprenticeship program has been very successful because our students then either continue in that program or they end up in one of our work-based learning opportunities as a student, which then they have an opportunity to take their learning, their training that would be traditionally in 4 walls. We move it to our business and industry partners, and they again get that opportunity to build their skills and also be either in a paid or an unpaid situation. So those credentials, the skills that they're learning, are filling the pipeline of the greatest needs that we have in those skilled trades areas.
We're joined by Paul Galbenski on today's edition of the Megacast. He is the Dean of the Oakland Schools Technical Campus Northeast, one of their 4 campuses at Oakland Tech. On today's edition of the programs, we talk about pre-apprenticeship programs available through the Oakland Schools Technical Campuses. And as we look at these programs and these opportunities, certainly these relationships that are being developed over the years, how have these students that have gone through Oakland Schools Technical Campus from our many school districts and different communities in the local area, how have they benefited from having this program right here in the local area through their schools, through their ISD, available to them to open them up to these career opportunities?
Tremendous benefits for these students. I mean, really, it's a force multiplier to come to the campus area where they're able to gain these skills. One of the things that we have right here on our campus is we have a house build. It's a community partnership with our local government, with Oakland Schools, and one of our partners, Venture Incorporated. And we build a 1,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on site. It's a stick built, which would be from the ground up. And then that home is moved into the city of Pontiac for affordable housing. So as students are developing their skills, they're mastering them, they're putting them to work, and they're going to build a home for a family in the city of Pontiac. And this program has gone on for multiple years, and we're right on path right now. We're getting ready to set trusses this week, shingle it, and sheet it and shingle it and get it ready to go before the snow flies, so to speak, so that we can do all the interior work. But what a great opportunity for those students then to give back as well.
You can learn more information about these programs by going to Oakland Schools website, oakland.k12.mi.us, oakland.k12.mi.us. For more information on these programs, we're joined by Paul Galbenski, the Dean of the Oakland Schools Technical Campus Northeast, on today's edition of the Megacast as we talk about some of these programs, pre-apprenticeship programs in the skilled trades, certainly partnerships in construction, skilled trades as well. What do students need in order to participate in these programs? What sort of steps do they need to take if they're interested in the skilled trades, particularly the construction skilled trades, and would like to work through their school district and through, of course, the local ISD being Oakland Schools for some of these opportunities?
Certainly, students that are heading into their junior, senior year can go to our website, OSTConline.com, and they're able to apply for the program. But really what they need to be successful is to come in and have a passion. You mentioned that earlier about the different areas, and when they find what it is they're passionate about, that's very important. And then once you have that, you can build that skill set. And the other part that's very, very important that we teach all of our students, but it also helps them as they move forward, is really what we call career ready skills. You got to be able to communicate, collaborate, problem solve, and you have to make sure that you're working together as a team within that personal management. And our students not only are taught those, but they're evaluated on those each and every day in all of our programs. But as we talk particularly for construction technology and what we're doing with pre-apprenticeship, those are invaluable skills that need to be developed, flourished, so that they then can be successful when they move into their career of their choice.
Again, you can learn more information about Oakland Schools programs at oakland.k12.mi.us. To learn more from the Oakland Schools technical campuses and all of their programs, including their pre-apprenticeship programs, you can go to their website, OSTConline.com, OSTConline.com for all that information, or call them, call Oakland Schools 248-209-2000, 248-209-2000. The Northeast Campus, you can call 248-451-2700, 248-451-2700 to get in contact with Paul and his team at the Oakland Schools Technical Campus Northeast as they join us today on the Megacast. Paul, another couple minutes with you before we'll need to say goodbye. Any other information at this time we haven't touched on that would be important for our audience, especially those kids and those families as their kids are going into their junior year or are in their junior year and are considering their next step after high school and as they go into potentially the workforce? Any other things we should be aware of or should be keeping in mind in regards to this program or others like it offered by Oakland Schools Technical Campuses?
Really, the key thing, Tyler, is information, knowing what's available out there for students. And we offer that opportunity for students to come on campus, experience that. We have third sessions, Saturday sessions where students can come on campus, learn more about, hey, do I like this program? Do I not like this program? Sometimes it's just important figuring out what you don't like as to what you do like. And so those are some great opportunities. We have career nights that are going to be happening at all 4 of our technical campuses in December, January, and February, where the campus is wide open. Every single program is available for the parents and students to come on, talk to the instructors, see, as I like to say, CTE in action with what's happening in all of the various programs. And so those are some really key components. And if somebody is interested, they just need to connect with their high school counselor, as we service all 28 school districts in Oakland County, along with the public service academies, private, parochial, and we do have our homeschooled students that also attend one of the 4 technical campuses throughout Oakland County through our 17 different programs that are available. And so that's really the key component, is people need to be informed about what their options and their choices are. And it's really not an either or, it's an and. So we need to have technical skills. We're going to need further training throughout our life, as we're all lifelong learners. And some of that then would be, maybe we need to move into a associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, depending on the career pathway that we looked at. So really, we service students in a wide variety of ways, and they have a lot of different entry points as they get ready to be career ready, period.
OSTConline.com is their website for more information. Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Appreciate it. OSTConline.com for more information on Oakland Schools, technical campuses, programs. You can call the Northeast campus and Paul and his team located in Pontiac at 248-451-2700, 248-451-2700 for more information. We'll take a short break here on the Megacast. On the other side, it's difficult financial times. The economics of the U.S. and the world are in a state of flux. That, of course, is going to affect our retirement. What can we do? What should we be doing to protect our retirement, to fortify our savings for the future? We'll take a time out. On the other side, we'll talk to the coach, Jason Brown from the Brown Report, stock market coach and options trader, coming up next to get more information on just that. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream lives on with United We Walk, an event that celebrates Dr. King Jr.'s birthday by embracing unity, diversity, and acceptance. Volunteer, participate, or donate to bolster your community and engage with your fellow citizens. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or go to unitedwewalk.org. Show your support Sunday, January 15th, 2023, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the new West Bloomfield Middle School.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the Megacast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the Megacast, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV, 89.3, and streaming on mymytv.com.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID. We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. You can learn more about our program and keep up to date with us. Find all of our full shows and each individual interview on demand at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll also find information on all of our partnering stations, including in your local area on TV and on the radio, and all across the Oakland County area, the state of Michigan, the U.S., and the world. Streaming online, civiccentertv.com/megacast. Joining us now on the Megacast once again is a stock market coach and an options trader. Jason Brown joins us from the Brown Report as we talk about investing, the financial markets, and more. Jason, thank you so much for being with us again.
Tyler, thanks for having me. Always good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you on as well. It's an important topic we have on the docket today for people as we're continuing through some interesting financial times here, not only in the U.S., but worldwide. A lot of people worried about their pocketbooks right now, but also worried about their retirement, as saving for retirement on a surface level, very similar to what it's been in generations past, but the mechanics of it have really changed. What are some of those key differences that we're noticing in our modern society, especially of late, given the circumstances that we're in? And how do those changes implicate how we should be approaching saving for retirement?
So I think some of the biggest changes that most people may be seeing right now are affecting people that are already in retirement and maybe not necessarily people that are going into retirement, and that's inflation. And so if you budgeted or planned your retirement and said, hey, I'm going to live off X amount of dollars every single month, and this is how much I'm going to withdraw from my investment account. Well, if you think about the pandemic took stocks to like an all-time high, and now they've come back down. But technically, you haven't really lost any money because they soared so much during the pandemic with all the money that came in from the government. So from that standpoint, your account should be doing okay, even though lately the market has been down. On average, you're probably about even or a little up. But the problem is the things that you pay for every day, like food, gas, maybe if you had to buy a new car while you're already in retirement, those things are more expensive. And so it's pulling out more money than you might have budgeted for when you went into retirement. Now, if you're not in retirement, there's still time for the prices and different things like that to come down. But I think the people who are affected the most are the ones who are already in retirement, and these inflated numbers are kind of throwing off their monthly budget.
So let's talk more about that. Let's talk more about the people that are currently experiencing that. They're in retirement, they've saved, they've gone through their entire career, they got ready for retirement. It's an exciting time. You got some freedom behind you to live out the later years of your life as you so choose without the constraints of work. And now you're in the situation where our economy has kind of thrown a monkey wrench into all of that. And now you got to either rebudget, maybe consider taking on some part-time work to make ends meet. And in terms of what can be done with the money that you have saved and what you have in pocket month to month, maybe through Social Security or through a pension or something like that, what are your suggestions in terms of them approaching, maybe bridging some of those gaps through the markets? Is that something that you would suggest being a potential option for them, or should they be looking at some other safer options to bolster them over time?
So there's always an opportunity to jump in the market and kind of take control of your financial future yourself. The question really is, do you have some disposable income while you're in retirement that you could potentially go and make a better return than what you're getting from your retirement account? And then do you know how to do that? If not, I think it's important to realize that inflation doesn't last forever, or higher prices don't last forever. And so maybe you have to cut back on traveling. Maybe you have to not get the car or all the options on the car that you wanted. But that's okay. That may only be for a short period of time. And even if you have to pick up a second job, or as they call it, a side hustle, I know it probably sounds weird to be going into a side hustle as you're in retirement. But there's so many things you could do, like driving Uber, driving Lyft, doing Uber Eats, to make some extra money to bridge that gap if you need to. The last thing you would want to do, though, is put yourself in harm's way and risk money that maybe is already earmarked for retirement and that you could potentially lose trying to make more money versus just managing your lifestyle to conform to the new inflated prices, at least for this short period of time.
Kind of in that in between zone too, between people that are investing now, getting ready for their retirement years and years down the line, and those that are in retirement, maybe struggling in some cases to make ends meet or to stay on budget given the state of inflation. Are those people that are on the cusp of retirement? They've been planning for this for years. They're coming up on that, that date or that set of dates that they had in mind for when they were going to call it a career and ride off into the sunset into retirement. Obviously, one way to change those plans and adjust for what's going on in the economy is to push that date forward. But for those individuals, how should they be approaching the market differently right now than those that are already in retirement to maybe stay on that schedule or prepare themselves for whatever situation the economy might be in when they do reach that date, if they've already made that decision and have punched through to their retirement on a given time?
So, like you said, they can obviously push the date back. That's probably the natural, easiest thing to do is push the date back. The other thing they could do is they can meet with, hopefully they met with some type of financial advisor or ran their retirement through some type of financial calculator. And they might realize that maybe they need to put more money away now to still hit that date. And so it's like, if I, was putting 20% of my income away, maybe they need to increase it to 25% or 30%. And they can do that while they're still working so that they don't have to move back their date. That's always one option. And then the other thing is if they move back their date, it's not really the end of the world because if you think about how stocks have sold off, there's an opportunity right now to pick up some really great companies and some really great investments at a really good price. And so if you're able to pour more money into the market, into the right stocks or sectors and industries, and then push your retirement back a year, 2 years, whatever the case may be, is a good chance that you'll have a bigger and better retirement nest egg because you're able to pick up on some great companies at low prices versus if you're ready to retire in the next 6 to 12 months, you're pulling money out as the market has come off of its high. So you're not pulling money out at the highest price, you're pulling back off the lower price. But if you can be buying at the lower price and wait for it to turn around and go back higher, because statistics shows over time you average about 11 to 13% return in the market. So that means if you can wait another year or 2 year, the money that you're putting in now could earn potentially 13% 1 to 2 years in a row, which would be a good 26% increase in your retirement account. And so those are things to think about. Do I put more money in and push the date back so that I can take advantage of the market pullback? Or do I put more money in now to hopefully bolster the return, the return in the short term, or at least offset the inflation in the short term to still allow me to come out when I wanted to come out?
More information from Jason and the Brown Report, as well as resources, including his podcast, the Money Markets and Mindset podcast, which you can find on various podcasting networks, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and on Spotify, can be found thebrownreport.com. As of course, we're joined by Jason Brown, stock market coach and options trader, on today's edition of the Megacast. When people are thinking about their investments, they're thinking about right now, they're thinking about their retirement and the savings given the economy and the state that we're in. A lot of people are concerned because of the impact of inflation in their daily life right now. And they're looking for safety. And it's a tough question because, as we've always talked about, it's about knowing what you're doing and having some of that back knowledge before you go into it. But is there a sense of safety, in your opinion, going into the stock market in this sort of a time to really bolster your retirement and get that ready for when the market ultimately does adjust itself back to some semblance of normality or positivity at the very least?
Well, I think what's safe about investing right now is you're not buying at the all-time highs. So could you imagine if you bought 6 months ago or last year at the all-time highs? A lot of stocks have been cut in half, so 50%. And so I think psychologically, we think the best time to buy stocks is when they're going up. But the problem with that is nothing goes up forever. So if you're buying things at the all-time high, it's more likely that you have room for the stocks to fall and you have room to lose money. So in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, when things are down and things are kind of horrible, I think Warren Buffett coined the quote, when others are fearful, be greedy. And so when everyone's talking about recession and inflation and it's a bad time to invest, it's technically, if you really clear the noise, it's really a good time to invest. It's a good time to get things at such a low price. Because if you look at Amazon, who's been, valuation's been cut in half, you look at Google, who's been cut in half. I'll just take those two companies. It's unlikely that they're going to get cut in half again. It's unlikely that they're going to lose 75% of their value. That's what would have to happen for them to get cut in half again. It's also unlikely that these companies are going to go to zero. So sometimes we think, I don't want to lose all my money. It's like, well, that would mean Amazon would have to go out of business. Google would have to go out of business. Tesla would have to stop selling electric cars, and we all go back to gas cars. So when you think about it logically, technically now is the best time to buy because there's less room to fall and more room to go higher once we get past this whole inflationary period. So I think if we think about it like that, there is safety in investing right now, whether you're doing individual stocks or you're doing sectors. So you maybe don't want to get caught with an individual stock. You can look at the XLK, which is the technology sector, which will have Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon lumped into it. And I think lastly, the other thing that people have to think about is retirement is a game plan. And the game plan doesn't really change in the next 30 to 60 days because the market's up or down. I want people who are listening to this, whether they're in retirement or they're going into retirement, whatever the situation is, it's a result of the planning that you did 15, 10, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. And so now is the time, if you aren't in retirement, you should be saying, what happens if in 15 years when I do retire, if inflation is back, if things cost higher, and you should be baking that into your retirement plan. But now that inflation is here, layoffs are here, it's not too many levers that you can pull and just change things on a dime and just modify 30 years of planning in 6 to 12 months. So just keep that in mind as well. And sometimes the best modification is just modifying your lifestyle if you didn't bake inflation or some type of rainy day scenario into your retirement. And it's not the end of the world. As long as you got your health, your family, everything is okay. The news will have you thinking like the world is over, but you're still alive. You have your health, you have your friends and family, and you have some money in retirement. You just might not have enough to do all the things that you want to do, but that's okay.
Yeah, you make some adjustments, you get informed, you learn more information, and you make decisions, and those adjustments with informed opinions and some information from experts behind it. Jason, appreciate your time. I want to give you another couple minutes to talk about anything else that you believe would be important for our audience to be keeping in consideration right now on the retirement topic, on investing, on the markets, or anything else we should be keeping an eye on.
One of the things I would say for people who are thinking about retirement, sometimes I think millennials think like retirement's so far away. I don't have to think about that right now. But one of the things that everyone should be doing is getting a retirement calculator. You could Google them, there's probably free ones online. But really, the question you have to ask yourself is what type of lifestyle do I want to have in retirement? Meaning, how much is my house? How much is my car? Or even if your house is paid off, how much do I want to set aside for repairs? Because you might need a new roof. How much do I want to spend on vacations? How much do I want to spend traveling? And you want to bake that in and say, okay, this is how much I need in retirement every single month. And then what lump sum of money do I need to have and what type of return do I need to make? So let's say you need $3 million and you need to make 3% off that. It'll tell you this is how much you can withdraw every month with $3 million making 3%. And it's either going to match the lifestyle you want or it's not going to match the lifestyle you want. But it'll let you know what target you're aiming for and gunning for over the next 15, 20, and 30 years to live that comfortable life in retirement. So I think we should be thinking about it now, even if we feel like it's, so far away, 15, 20, 30 years away.
Good place to start with some healthy advice and information is at thebrownreport.com, as well as listening to Jason on the Money Markets and Mindset podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and more. Okay. Again, more information, thebrownreport.com. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
Tyler, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, as always, being with us. TheBrownReport.com is Jason's website. We'll take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, we'll be joined by one of over 320 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. Coming up next, you are watching and listening to the Megacast.
Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV. Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
I'm feeling good. Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live local daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. You can learn more about our program and keep up to date with us on demand on your time, anytime at civiccentertv.com/Megacast, where you'll also find links to every one of our partnering TV, radio, and streaming outlets all across the great state of Michigan and throughout the Oakland County area, where we originate our broadcast, community television, and radio stations joining us, and statewide outlets, including My Michigan TV. Learn more about all their original programming and find us live and live to tape every single day. civiccentertv.com/Megacast. Joining us now on the program is one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported by Share Detroit, a local consortium of nonprofits looking to help reach out to the community and galvanize both support for local charities and nonprofits, as well as many different causes across the board. Joining us now from Leader Dogs for the Blind is Leslie Hoskins, the Outreach Services and Community Engagement Manager, as well as Christina Hepner, the Digital Marketing Manager, on today's edition of the Megacast. Thank you both for being with us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate having the both of you on. Leslie, let's start with you. Just tell us a little bit of background information about Leader Dogs for the Blind and the services that you provide in our local area.
Yeah, Leader Dogs for the Blind is a nonprofit organization, and we serve individuals who are blind or visually impaired. So our mission is to provide independent travel skills for individuals who are blind or visually impaired. And so we do that by offering a couple of different programs. We offer our guide dog training, which of course is the one we're most known for. And that's where we match a client with a guide dog to fit their individual needs. We also have our orientation and mobility program, which is the white cane training. So if you ever see somebody out traveling with those long white canes, we provide that training. And then we also have a teen summer camp. In this camp, we bring in kids from all over the US and Canada to spend a fun week getting to know other kids who are also blind or visually impaired, experiencing a guide dog. So it's a lot of fun. All of these programs we offer completely free, including room, board, and airfare.
So this is not a new organization. These are not new programs. They have quite an extensive history too. But let's go over to you, Christina. Where did this really begin? What is the origin of the organization itself and the services it provides, not just here in Michigan, but in many different places across the board.
Yeah, so we service people not only here in Michigan, but all over the United States and Mexico and Canada and Spain as well. And so we have been around for 80 plus years. We were actually started by three area Detroit Lions members. So Lions clubs are a huge part of our organization, not only as donors, but they're also ambassadors, volunteers, and they're very involved with us. So yes, we've been around for more than 80 years, and we service people with white cane training, guide dog training, and we also have a lot of other free resources and services. And then we also have a podcast called Taking the Lead. Leslie and I both co-host it with one of our clients. And so that's also another resource for our clients or even anyone to listen to if they want to learn more about, the journey of someone who is blind or visually impaired. And we also serve clients with adaptive services as well, deaf, blind, or whatever it may be. We try to service to the clients.
More information can be found in a couple of places. ShareDetroit.org. Navigate to their Find a Nonprofit section and search Leader Dogs for the Blind, or go directly to the website, Leader Dogs for the Blind's website, leaderdog.org. That's leaderdog.org. For more information, you can find their podcast by scrolling to the bottom of the screen and clicking on podcast on the left side, leaderdog.org. For more information. Leslie, going back to you, how do people get involved if they have a loved one or they themselves may be in need of some of the resources through your organization? What are those steps they got to take to maybe tap into some of those resources, maybe even get partnered with one of your leader dogs?
Yeah, we're really lucky because we're the nonprofit organization and we don't receive any state or federal funding. We don't have a whole lot of restrictions on who we're able to serve. So it's very easy for clients to apply for services. You can simply go to our website at leaderdog.org. You can give us a call at 888-777-5332. We pick up the phone. We're happy to get an application started over the phone. Or we can always mail a copy. We understand that sometimes technology can be difficult, so navigating an online application can be hard. So we're happy to send one in the mail for you or somebody else to fill out. So we try to make it as easy as possible. Anybody who is interested in getting involved, not as a client, we can have volunteer opportunities on our campus here and far away. We have puppy raising options, breeding host volunteers, and donors. Of course, we couldn't do what we do without the support of our wonderful community and the donors who make this possible to provide all of these services completely free.
Leaderdog.org is your place to go for more information, resources, and ways that you can support the organization as well. Leaderdog.org. We're joined by Leslie Hoskins as well as Christina Hepner on today's edition of the Megacast. Christina, going to you, in terms of training, what goes into that? What does the organization look for, in the dogs they're ultimately bringing in training? And then beyond that, most importantly, what sort of training goes into this? Because these dogs are, of course, working with people that are visually impaired or people that are blind, but that's a very blanket statement. People's experiences in those regards are always going to be variable.
Yes, so we use three breeds. We have Labrador retrievers, golden retrievers, and German shepherds. We also do crossbreeds of those. And it really starts with our breeding program. We breed our own dogs. I actually have a leader dog mom here with me, and volunteers host these dogs at their home. So they'll take in a breeding stock dog, whether it be a mom or a dad, and they'll host that dog throughout its career. So when it's being bred, the moms will have around 4 litters of puppies, and those puppies are our future leader dogs, is what we call them. Volunteers also raise our puppies. So they raise our future leader dogs for about 12 to 15 months. And they have so much support there's groups, there's a private Facebook group, they do outings together. So really we rely on our volunteers in that first life stage of our dogs. From, the minute they're born, they're in a breeding host home. And then to the minute they're about 12, 15 months until they go into formal training, they're with a volunteer. So our volunteers mean so much to us, whether it's a breeding stock or a puppy raiser. And if you want to find more about volunteering in those roles, we have those on leaderdog.org as well under our volunteer tab. And, once they're returned to campus, they'll go into what's called formal training. And so that's about 3 to 4 months that they're in formal training with one of our guide dog mobility instructors. And those instructors, what they do is amazing. Just getting to watch a little bit of it, they really take that dog from, those skills that they learn with their puppy raiser. They're taking those skills and learning off those skills to train them to become a guide dog. And then, at the end of that, they'll match the dog with a client. We do have some what we call career change dogs. So some dogs just don't want to work or they're meant for another career. And so we also give to other organizations like CAPS, a child advocacy program that helps children, and then veterans programs as well for support and other service types. Or, if they don't want to work at all, sometimes they go to a loving family. So it's really, we rely a lot on volunteers, and then our guide dog mobility instructors really hone in their skills at the end of their training.
We're joined by both Christina Hepner and Leslie Hoskins from Leader Dogs for the Blind on today's edition of the Megacast. You can find more information directly on their website, leaderdog.org. That's leaderdog.org, or call their local office in Rochester Hills, 248-651-9011, 248-651-9011 for more information. Also, you can find a lot of information on them as well as other organizations across the state of Michigan at sharedetroit.org, sharedetroit.org. Also a great resource to go to support your local nonprofits. In terms of acclimation, it's also an important part of this, Leslie, to go to you. What goes into that from your organization standpoint? Because it's one thing to train the dogs and get them ready, but I would imagine for these individuals too, that these dogs are ultimately helping, there's got to be an adjustment period there for them to be used to being with a dog that's leading them in a variety of different capacities, and to develop that relationship one-to-one between the animal and the human.
It's such a unique matching process, and that time frame where it takes the client to get to know the dog to get to know the client. We say it's really each one giving 100%, and it takes around 6 months to a year to be really a good team, which is what we call our handlers and our guide dogs together. So there is some adjustment period. One thing to note is that so many times people say, get a dog, it's going to fix all your problems. And that's really not the case. Our clients put in so much work in order to work and be successful with a guide dog. So they're practicing their independent cane skills. They have to know how to cross streets independently. They have to know where they're going. All of these things our guide dogs don't do, believe it or not. These dogs are amazing at guiding around obstacles, stopping at curbs, providing companionship, all of those things, but it's a team effort. And so our clients can receive services in a couple different ways. They can come here on campus and spend about 3 weeks with us, getting to know their guide dog and learning how to work together. But that's a big commitment. So we can also do in-home delivery for those who can't be away from home for an extended period of time. We also have a really unique deaf-blind program for individuals who are blind or visually impaired and or deaf or hard of hearing, which of course is unique and specialized training there as well. So it's a lot of adapting. The dogs are getting comfortable because they spent that first year with their puppy raiser, then they were with a guide dog mobility instructor. So really kind of getting to know their forever person is such a unique experience. But honestly, it does happen, that bond, very quickly within the first week or two. The dogs usually cannot stop touching or being next to their person. It's absolutely wonderful to watch and be observant.
And Christina, lastly, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about your upcoming event in December, the Light Up Leader Dog event. Tell us about that, how people can participate.
Yeah, so this is the third year for Light Up Leader Dog. It's a family-friendly and it's a free event. But our goal is to light up the campus with 2,000 luminaries. So you don't even have to live in Michigan or near Rochester Hills to participate, because it's a $10 donation. A lot of people give in honor of someone. It's a great little gift if you want to give a gift that means something. And so a $10 donation, you put a luminary on our campus, and we make sure that if you cannot come on December 10th at 5:30 p.m., we'll have a little market going on, some vendors, food, warm drinks, and then you get to see the luminaries all lit up. But if you cannot make it for that and you want to donate and participate, we will make sure on our social media pages that you can see the campus all lit up. And so you can just head to leaderdog.org under our events tab, light up Leader Dog, and you can see how you can donate a $10 luminary for our campus.
Leaderdog.org is the website for more information. Leslie, Christina, I want to thank you both for joining us today and give you an opportunity to also give our third guest from Leader Dogs for the Blind an opportunity to say hello.
Yeah, come on,
also, if you can
Truby.
see them. For those on our TV audience.
Sleeping, so I'm going to see if I can get her up. Truby,
Try not to make anybody dizzy here.
There she is.
You see her?
She's a Black Labrador Retriever. She's a Leader Dog mom, so she needs a home. She is looking for a breeding host home right now, so I have her here with me.
And if you are listening on the radio, haven't had a chance to see this, you can see it online, civiccentertv.com/megacast this afternoon. Leslie, Christina, thank you both for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. That is going to do it for this edition of the Megacast. Again, you can always keep up to date with us on civiccentertv.com/megacast. That's it for today's show. We'll return soon with a new episode.